amongst you, and no doubt with great excitement, do you mind if I borrow this?
No, go ahead.
Is the midterm prep sheet. And you're going to have a chance to discuss this in your sections with Katie and Carrie this week. But let me just say a few things about the mechanics of this. As you can see, the exam is going to be 60 minutes long. It's divided into two sections. It will take place in this room on Thursday. Yeah, a week from Thursday. And you have you need to bring your blue books. Don't write anything in your blue books because I will make you change your blue books with someone else. Don't bring your cell phone in with, a whole series of well-placed data. And you'll have two sections to the exam. The first is very simply, identifying these IDs. Okay? You're going to have a choice of 10 on the midterm. 10 of the ones listed here. And what we want you to do in these IDs is to assess the significance of these people, events, episodes, phrases, ideas, or concepts. Okay? What you need to do is to know enough about them to be able to say, okay, the Great Exhibition was held in the Crystal Palace in London's Hyde Park in 1851. It was opened by Albert, blah, 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 blah. You then have to contextualize it. You have to explain why it's important. You have to explain why you're writing an ID about it. Okay? So, the Great Exhibition, was there to demonstrate the marvels of free trade, the triumph of Britain as a manufacturing nation, etc., etc., etc. The second section of the exam is a analytical question, okay? And you're going to get a choice of 4, and you're going to have to write 1. Okay, and this is going to account for 60% of the exam. So every ID is going to be 10%, and then your essay will account for 60%. So it's really important to get this right. Okay, and I'm sure that in your section you will have go through some of these questions and think about what your strategies may be for answering them, and I will do that myself in lecture in next Tuesday. Okay. What I want you to do, okay, what we're looking out for here, is to demonstrate that you actually know stuff. Okay, you have to have solid empirical material. Okay, but it isn't just a question of how many facts you can learn. It's also a question of how it is that you organize that knowledge, how it is that you can organize that knowledge into a convincing argument. Okay? That's really the key thing, how you interpret and organize and make and develop an argument. The other thing that you should be aware of is that we are especially excited and enthused when people bring in the source materials that you've been reading online. Now, I'm not expecting you to be able to remember, the Reverend Clayton's 10 points in his sermon on the Great Exhibition. Okay, you don't have to come in with large chunks of text, remembered verbatim. But what we do want you to do is to be able to refer to those documents, to paraphrase and to remember why they're important and how they fit into the argument that you're developing. So the more knowledge that you can bring from those sources that are available online, the better you will do on the midterm.